Hello everybody, hope you're all well. My name's John Reid, I'm the Chief Instructor at Ronin Martial Arts, and today I just wanted to do a little video for you on Tonfas. Now, Tonfas are a traditional karate weapon. They originated in Okinawa in Japan, or one of the islands off of Japan I should say. These have got a long history. Many moons ago they started out as farming implements. There might have been handles for ploughs, or for handles for turning some kind of machinery. Nobody really knows where they actually came from, but it is known that they were some kind of farming implement, like most of the traditional Budo weaponry. During World War II and after World War II, they became part of the US military arsenal for their military police, and then it moved on to the civilian police as they were introduced as the PR-24 side-handled baton. Now, I first came across the PR-24 when I was a special constable for Leicestershire Police. We had a brief bit of training on it, and I thought they were fantastic. Did a bit of research into them. I already knew of the Tonfas. I could see where it had come from, and I just thought these are fantastic. I want to learn more about these things. So just wanted to do a quick video for people, because I see a lot more people are learning new stuff during lockdown. So what we'll look at to start with is the actual Tonfa itself. If you just put that one down. All it is a piece of wood like this one. You got the side handle, which is what you actually hold the Tonfa with. It gives you a fantastic surface area along your forearm. I'd imagine that is about 20 inches. Now, the difference with the PR-24 is you have that extra bit of length on the end, okay? But it doesn't matter about the size, it's what you do with it, so I'm told. So from here, these are great weapons for blocking with, for striking with, keeping people back. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll have a quick look at it. How you hold the Tonfa is you need a slightly controlled but loose grip is the best way to describe it. So how I like to do it, let me just get down so you can see, is I like to wrap my two middle fingers around it and just have it as a grip that lets the Tonfa spin freely in my hand. Okay, so as you're moving it, having to play with it, you'll find your own best way of doing it, okay? So we'll just look at a few drills of how you can control the Tonfa. These are good drills for beginners to learn, okay? So when you hold the Tonfas, thumb and forefinger at the top just needs to be that little bit looser, but obviously don't let it go because you'll spin it off and it'll go crashing into the walls or into your wife's best china cabinet and you won't be very popular. Okay, so the best way to do it, I find, is to stand in your neutral stance, your Shizen Hontai, okay, for the Japanese lovers out there. From there, what we're going to do is we're just going to bring it from this position here. We're going to let the Tonfa swing out, hit the side of the body and swing back. Swing it out and swing it back, okay? So from there, it should look something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so we're just letting it spin freely. No need to go fast at the start. Just get the feel for the Tonfa in your hand. If you've got new Tonfas, there tend to be these lacquered ones. I've got a pair on order that are coming, that are traditional wooden ones that have no lacquer on them. So I'm hoping they'll be a bit freer to move. But once you've had a go with them for a few days, few weeks, they do tend to wear the lacquer off the handles pretty quick. So that does help you keep a bit more control of the Tonfa. So you're just moving it round. This would be the sort of movement you'd want if you were trying to get somebody to get back or stay back. Yeah, so you just swing it out. Okay, so that's the spin across the body to move people back. The other one that we'll have a go with is just bringing the Tonfa round to the side. So you hold it to the side, yeah, and you're just spinning it up, up, up. Now this strike would be to hit, as you were hitting out, you'd want it to flick up and try and catch somebody under the chin. Now, you know how painful it is if you get caught with an uppercut. These are just an extension of your body, of your fists. Okay, so as you're extending that arm out, you give a slight flick and it takes it up. So just do it to the side so you can see it. Yeah, so if you imagine that cracking somebody under the jawline, it's going to be quite painful. Okay, so from there, just start again, stand in your natural stance, and from there, flicking them up, and bringing it back round, always back underneath with control. Okay, the next one we'll move on to do is the over the head strike. So from this position here, you're coming in, you're bringing the tonfa high behind, bringing it over and down, so it's hitting the top of the head. Okay, so you're bringing it over and down, over and down. Okay, so bringing it up, letting it twist through your hand, hitting and spinning back underneath. Yeah, so you're bringing it bang and back, one and back. Okay, so from there, down, down. Okay. Another great thing about the tonfas is you can use them for blocking. Now these essentially aid your blocking techniques. So if you imagine you've got your tonfas and somebody's coming down with a Joda Nookie or a head block, so you're stepping forward and you're blocking up nice and high. So we'll do it from Shizen Hontai. Yeah, we'll just go into the, no, beg your pardon, Shizen Hontai, keep it at you. It's been a long time since I've used my Japanese, so go into horse stance. Let's keep it simple, John. So from there, all we're going to do is blocking up, blocking up, blocking up. So you're just smashing the whatever's coming in, you're using that whole of that handle on your forearm, blocking, blocking, nice and high. Remember to come across, block up, and always pull this side hand, this hikate, the pulling hand back. So if you needed to strike, you can come straight out with your strikes. So we'll just go head blocks to start with. Taking them up. Good. Okay. Obviously from your head blocks, you can go into your lower blocks. Now with lower blocks, this is where we're going to extend the handle down and back. Bringing it down and back, down and back. So you're flipping over, so you've got the full length of the tonfa of the baton to protect whatever's coming in. So it's a blocking down motion in this way. Obviously I know a lot of the traditional guys like to do the one-legged stance, the crane position, and then block down. But obviously if you were using this in a practical sense as a police officer or as a prison officer, or anything, you're not going to be taking your hands up here into the crane position and blocking down. You want to keep your feet as safely planted as possible. Block down, blocking down, blocking down and over. This would also work, I suppose, if somebody was trying to punch or lunging at you with a knife, the hand's coming over. One of these on a forearm, it's going to break bones. It's going to hurt. Down. When I'm doing these downward blocks, I'm not actually taking the tonfa back underneath. I'm letting it rest on my elbow, so it looks like this. So from there, it's coming down and back, down and back, down and back. The reason I'm not letting it circle through is because obviously if you imagine you're hitting something, so if I'm hitting here, yeah, the chances are it's going to stop on the top. Take it back up and back up. So it's down and back, down and back. Inner blocks, yeah, so you'd be smashing across. Outer blocks, you could also, I was told it'd be like a windscreen wiper motion where you're flicking it out to the side. Personally, if I was blocking outer block, I'd just be doing an outer block with using the Tonfa as the extension, yeah, or flicking it out and blocking out, almost striking, yeah. Talking of striking areas, obviously if you're striking with the Tonfas, we've just covered a few of them. You'd be obviously striking under the jaw, top of the head. That's another good drill for people to learn. So if you just stand in your natural stance, and all we'll do is head, under the jaw and back. In fact, let's try it with, you can go side, side, under the chin, top of the head. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. So you'd be going clear, clear, under the jaw, head. So you imagine one of these coming down on the top of the head. It's going to knock you for six. It's going to knock you for six. There's no two ways about it. So yeah, well from there we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want to be really clever, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, he says. See, this is what happens when you do live videos. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. When you do the clearing, you can bring it over the top and back, or underneath and back. It's good to do both. There's no right way or wrong way, really. Okay. When you're doing those sort of strikes, I mean, that's a good one to get into. You can also do the figure of 8 twist. So from here, what we're going to do, I'll just turn sideways so you can see it a bit better. I'm going to flick it out with the handle facing outwards towards the thumb. Then I'm going to turn it over so the thumb faces in, flick back, and then back round. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and back onto the arm. So we start in this position where you're cradling your Tonfas like you would a newborn baby. Yeah, so from there we're going 1, turn the wrist, 2, flick back, turn it again, and back on top of the arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 2, 3, 4, and back. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and back. Let's try that again, John. 1, 2, 3, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Other ways that you can use your Tonfas, you can use them as a baton. Like I know a lot of the police and the prison service guys like to use these as batons. Now, a lot of police officers have the extendable asps. You've probably seen them when you've been out and about, or if you're a serving officer yourself. The friction lock batons, you draw them from the side, flick down or flick up, and then you're into your guard position. So if you're doing it, get back, stay back, leave me alone, you're up here, bang, get back, yeah. With a Tonfa, if you're going to use it in that position, don't have it so you hold it with the handle like that, okay? Because if you hit something, it's going to bend back, yeah? If you're hitting somebody with one of these and you hit them hard enough and it doesn't put them down, the force of you hitting, I mean, you look at that now, that's just bending back onto my forearm. And if I hit it to the front so you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, it's going to pull forward and release the tonfa. I'm basically disarming myself, which is the last thing I want to do. Okay, so when you hold the tonfa as like for baton strikes and stuff like that, hold it with the handle to the side or to the side here. Okay, I tend to favour it being on the outside, because obviously if you're drawing it and it's up high here in the high guard position, your hands are up and forward, and then you can strike down to the leg, onto the head, onto the body. Okay, so it's 1, 2 or 3. Okay, head, body, legs. Okay, and you've got no fear of that coming out of your hand. It's not the biggest handle in the world, especially if you've got big hands, but there is enough there. If you get into a mess, grab it, smashing down, smashing in. Body strikes is another one. Well, before we get on to body strikes, we'll talk about how you can hold the tonfa as a hammer, almost. So you're bringing it down using the handle point here as it's coming in to strike on top of the head. Now this would be, well, it'd be disastrous for whoever gets on the end of it. So if you're holding it, hands are up and forward, high guard position, striking down, connecting with the top of the head, striking down, hitting into the ribs. Yeah, if you got a bit into it with somebody and they were, I don't know, getting the better of you, and this is the only way you've got your tonfa, you can bring it up, obviously striking to the rib area, smashing in, bang, will give you just enough time to gain control of your tonfa to then pull it back, so you could use it in another way for either another strike or for an extended strike to the body. So if you were striking to the body with one of these things, you've got an area here just out the front. So if you look at it on here, you've got probably 2-3 inches where it's sticking out that you can drive in to somebody. So if I was driving up to the head, under the chin, striking up, high, striking to the body, you're going straight in, ribs, solar plexus. I mean, it hurts when you get hit with a fist. You imagine being hit with one of these, in, yeah? So from there, bang, bang. And that's the difference with a tonfa to a normal strike. Instead of rotating your fist over, you're just going to strike straight, sharp, straight blast, almost like a kung fu punch. So from there, your hands are up and forward, bang, back into stance, bang, back in, okay? So then you can go back into your striking if needs be. Reinforcement strikes. So when we did the PR24 training, you had your hand on top. So you're basically bracing it against your body and you were smashing it in. With a tonfa this size, it's not really going to work that well. Flip it round so you've got the front end, yeah? Take hold of the handle or the pommel. You've got a slight bit on the wrist. Then brace it down, yeah? So you're here, you're bracing the tonfa, and as you smash it forward, yeah, you're driving that. You've got more surface area to hit the body with, hit the head with, yeah? So from there you can go body, head, or head, body, yeah? But you're using that momentum, you're pushing it through almost like a saw in motion. If you imagine you've got one of those big old table saws, yeah? So from there, you're just smashing it in, smashing it in. And obviously if you needed to break a car window with one of these things, they are so versatile. They are fantastic bits of kit. Just trying to think what else I can tell you about them. We've covered the hammers. Oh, the hooks as well. Yeah, you can do techniques with these where if you've got your tonfas and you hold them up, you can hook the back of people's necks. So you hook them in, you're gaining certain control, smash, yeah? You can do the double smash to the heads, yeah? You can also use them for hammer strikes, so you're bringing them in, bang. I know the reinforced hammers with one of these, smashing it in and back, smashing in and back. Also ridge hands, so you're using the handles, the top of the handle. The PR24s have got like the mushroomed head caps. So from there, if you're in close enough, you bring it up and strike into the temple and in there. I mean, that's just on my hand, and that's a fair strike. So from there, you could bring them up and hit. Not being funny, one of those to the side of the temple is gonna give you an advantage. Okay. With regard to punching, when you do these punches with the Tonfas, it's always good to train them where you're just punching forwards. Yeah, try not to get into the habit of turning them over like you would a normal traditional karate punch, a Junzuki. Yeah, just try and get them going straight. So you're punching straight and the Tonfa stays underneath your arm. So from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. You can also use these for, well, I know a lot of the police officers in America use them for joint locks, CNR manipulation and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not got anybody here to to show you any of those techniques, but I hope this is just giving you a brief introduction to the Tonfa. If there's anybody out there that actually does know a bit more about Tonfas, please get in touch with me. I'm very keen to learn more about them. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Please drop me a like and a share in the comments below. Thanks a lot, guys. All take care. Bye.